Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Motivation with Mommies Teatime, where we inspire and empower moms to manifest the life that you want. I am your host, Ramika Latash, and today we have a special guest, Dana Rowell. She is a wife, a mother of three, of beautiful children. She advocates for her son who is autistic, and she is a financial coach who helps families achieve their financial goals. Dana, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning. I was wondering who you was talking about, and then I was like, "Oh, it's me."
Funny because you're not the first person that said that. Like when I started like reading the bio, they're like, "Oh, she's talking about me."
Who's that
Like,
person?
yeah, right?
I know we work
Yes.
to be these people, but we don't always recognize that we are becoming these people. So it's like, "Oh, that person she sounds like an amazing mom with amazing
Uh-huh.
children." It's like, "Oh, that's me."
Yep, yep. It's funny how other people look at you too from the
Yes.
outside. Yeah. So, yeah, Dana, look at you. I didn't watch you grow up.
Yeah, I
You
was actually thinking like we were in the same marriage counseling class
Yep,
together, and we are still married.
yep,
Grace of
and
God. So
yep.
that's amazing.
And we
Yeah.
do wonderful things with our family. I love
Yes.
your kids. I love your old. That's your older son, or
Yes.
so his hair is awesome.
Oh gosh, I tell people do not tell him because he is so in love with that hair.
Cause he know it is right. His hair
Yes,
is right. No, I love it. I love your family. I love watching your family. Yeah, and like you said, we're still married by the
yep,
grace of God. Yep.
hmm,
Great counseling.
yes,
Yep, I
it's
still hold
working.
on to. Yeah, I still hold on to those counseling sessions. When I come across certain things in my marriage, I'll be like, it takes me back
Yeah,
to the counseling class. Like, okay, all right, all right. Well, I'm not going to hold you long. We're going to go ahead and get started and
let's
dive
do it.
in. What are some common misconceptions? Um, no, 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 no. That's my second question. My first question is can you tell us about financial coaching business and the specific services you provide for families?
Absolutely. So, I am a financial coach, not to be confused with a financial advisor or planner. There are some different certifications there. Not much difference in education in terms of the people, but just some levels of certification. So, in coaching, my goal and my mission is to help families thrive financially. First through education and then through implementation. A lot of times when it comes to our finances, we hear about things. We go on YouTube, we go on Google, we might watch
Mhm.
a video on social media, and we say, yes, I'm going to start doing that. What is that thing? I heard it piqued my interest. I'm going to start doing it. But the goal for me as a coach is to educate first, because everything is not for everybody. There are some
Mhm.
things that exist that may not be good for you and your family financially, that may not be good for you in terms of your investments or how you save. There are so many different ways and concepts when it comes to dealing with our finances, and you
Mhm.
have to first know how all of these things function, and then you can make better and sound decisions to say, yes, this is the thing for me that fits in my plan, because that's the most important part. And this is going to help me reach the goals that I want to get to financially. So, I again am very big on financial education. It's important to learn the correct way to deal with your money specifically to you.
Yeah, that is so important. And when you say like you go on to YouTube and on social media and you have all these gurus that,
Mhm.
give you all this misinformation, will give you part of the information but not the
Mhm.
whole story. And then you just find yourself you're just all over the place.
Yep.
But this takes me into my next question is what are the common misconceptions people have about financial planning, and what are they, and how do you work to overcome them?
So I would say one of the biggest misconceptions is I don't have enough. Just like we talked about in the beginning, like who's that woman? Who are they talking
Mhm,
about? We feel
mhm,
that way about
mhm,
our resources as well. I don't have enough. I'm
Mhm.
just doing enough to get by. I'm just making
Yeah.
it in my life specifically. But if you earn any type of income, you have enough. You have enough to save, you have enough to invest, or
Mhm.
there are ways that you can put yourself in position where you can make more so that you do have enough to do those things. So that's the biggest misconception. I don't have enough to do anything that's going to better my finances over the long haul. Um, Another one is that finances, personal finances are taboo. We don't come from families where everybody's shouting from the rooftops. This is how much money I make. This is how I save my
Mhm.
money. This is how I
Mhm.
plan for my money. We get a
Mhm.
lot of lessons. We get, this is how you be a mom. This is how you be a dad. This is how you
Yeah.
cook food. Here are
Yeah. Right.
recipes, dinner, activities, all of that.
Mhm.
But all of those things come from how we deal financially. Money touches every aspect of our lives. And
Yeah.
it's the one thing that we are not taught to talk about. And it's the one thing that we're actually taught to keep private.
Yes, I
It's
was
like,
gonna say that.
talk
Like
about what
everybody
you
can't know
make.
your business.
You don't tell your business. You don't, I think about like, and trust me, your social security number is something to be guarded. That is not something that should easily go. But I
Mhm.
think about thinking back to me going to college and it's like,
Mhm.
Mom, I need your social. I got to fill out this paperwork so I can go to
Yeah.
school. And it's
Right.
like, no,
Oh
we
yeah.
don't,
It's like, but you don't get what you need that for.
don't give that out. Like,
Right.
no. Mm-mm. And
Mhm.
needless to say, I still ended up having student loans. So it was just like, I
Mhm.
don't know why we guarding this that much
Right.
because I'm on the hook. But
Mhm.
we are very, very private when it comes to
Yeah.
money. It's very taboo, and I
Yeah.
believe that the walls are coming down around these conversations, and it
Mhm.
is my job as a financial coach to continue to break those walls down because our children need to know. We are doing a lot more educationally, we're going a lot farther professionally, and
Yeah.
so when we get into these areas of having salaries and getting
Mhm.
bonuses and doing startup companies and making, hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, we have no idea what to do with it. We've never been taught. And so we find that people have made money
Mhm.
throughout the generations and haven't been able to maintain or hold on to it, not
Right.
knowing how to navigate through it. What
Mhm.
happens when I come from, low income or poverty or just a family who does just enough for themselves and now
Mhm.
I'm making a six-figure salary? What do I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my mind, my inner child says, I've never had this before. Let me
Mhm.
go buy everything I've never had. Let me go do
Mhm.
everything I've never done. And it's like,
Mhm.
well, this money has to last, and these sources are not guaranteed. And
Yes.
to feed something else and grow into something else for you to make it work for you. So again, big misconception. We don't have enough, and we do. There's always enough for you to get educated. There's
Mhm.
always enough for you to get started. And every
Yeah.
step is a building block up to greater when it comes to your finances.
Oh my gosh, this is so good because yes, the misconception is only rich people, they have the money
Yeah.
to plan financially or whatever. And middle class or low class is just like, I don't really have that much money anyway. What do I need to plan? You're from paycheck to check, paycheck
Yeah.
to paycheck. And I like when you said it doesn't matter how much you make as long as you plan. And in the economy
Mhm.
today with like you said, we are making more money today, but we're not educated on how to balance and
Yes.
plan and how to what money goes here to groceries because God knows groceries the prices in the market is
Yes.
outrageous. If you're renting, your rent is just outrageous.
Hmm.
Your mortgage, taxes, I mean all that. And this is good because planning, I feel like if you plan more you can see more.
Yeah.
So oh my gosh, this is great. Families need this,
Yes.
family need this, and
And,
it's
and
needed today.
identifying where you want to go. That's the other
Hmm.
piece.
Hmm.
We get the job
Right.
and we start doing things. Hey, I may want private school or, dance lessons or
Hmm.
sports. We get and we start paying for things. And it's like, well, what is the overall goal? Did you
Hmm.
plan for your overall goal in life? Where do you want to be financially? What does that look
Yeah.
like for you, decades down the road? And then taking that and planning backwards in that regard. How do I allocate for certain things? Yes,
Mhm.
people say, I want to have a business, I want to do real estate, I want to get into all of these different things. Well, how
Mhm.
do you plan for those things
Oh,
financially? How do you lay out the steps to be able to get to those places? Is not just about, hey, I'm successful in this area or I make enough to live everyday life. What is the overall goal? And finding that overall goal helps you to be able to navigate your finances and get specifically where you want to go. And I think that's another, missing piece.
oh,
What is the goal?
that is so good.
Where are we trying to go with this thing? What are we trying
So
to do?
that is so good because you always say, "What I want to do, I want to do this, I want to do this," but you never think about the financial part of it.
Hmm.
And like you said, we are making more money now, but it's like, okay, I got money to do this and do this, but how come why I still don't have no money in the bank?
Why
I
is it?
got a raise from last year.
Yes,
Why I still don't have no money? Where is that
still,
extra money going? So, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is
yeah.
so great and so needed. That takes me to my next question. Is just um balancing. How do you balance the various roles, and how do you manage being a wife, a mother, and running your own business? And I think you run your husband's business too.
So I help my
Okay.
husband manage his business as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is in two separate arenas.
Mm-hmm.
His business is in lawn care and landscaping,
Wow.
um, and me dealing in finance.
Mhm,
Um, Full time workers, we both are a
mhm,
family of five.
mhm.
Um, Navigating ministry, that's the other piece of it, which is like that's a new thing, growing
Mhm.
into that. And balance is really about prioritizing time. Like, time is the currency.
Yeah,
That's really the thing that it's like, is this the end of the day? The 24 hours is up already, but it's balancing the time, allotting the time. And one of my mentors shared with me, in terms of your children, if you
mhm,
have to be away from your children, make sure it's worth it. Make
yeah,
it work. If there's time that you have to miss out,
yeah,
make sure that that time is worth it. Make sure that you're doing something great so that when your children look back, they can see and they'll be able to say, hey, I understand why you
yeah,
had to take that time away. I understand why you weren't here for maybe this specific thing. But just balancing and prioritizing. Um, Newly for us is a family calendar. We've gotten into that where we have things on the calendar. Put your play dates on the calendar.
yeah,
Last days of school, half days of school, no school, business, whatever it is that you need to do, put it on
mhm,
the calendar so we can all see it in one place, and
yeah,
then we can function from there. Carving out time, date nights. We have
mhm.
been in fellowship with other couples, either through church or personally,
I love that you do
where
that. Yeah, I love
it's
that.
it's a blast. Like,
The pottery thing, I'm like, I'm about to go ahead and out with them. I was
and it
like,
was
this idea
so
was fun.
it's so much fun to
Mm-hmm.
be in village with other couples who want the
Yeah,
same thing. Like,
like-minded. Yep.
yes, like
Mm-hmm.
wanting to see marriages win,
Yeah.
especially young black marriages, even older
Mm-hmm.
black marriages, but
Mm-hmm.
just to see marriage for the win, and getting around people who enjoy their spouse's
Yes.
company,
Yes.
enjoy your company,
Mm-hmm.
talking with them about goals and fun and
Mm-hmm.
goals in terms of date night.
Yeah.
So I would say scheduling. That's huge.
Yeah.
Schedule the times, schedule everything as much as possible, keep things in order, and then still finding time for us as women because that gets lost
Oh
as
yes. Oh yes.
that gets lost. So if it's a hair appointment or a nail appointment or just time to read a book,
Mm-hmm.
enjoy a moment, a quiet time. I love, podcasts. So this is
Mm-hmm.
really cool for me. I love listening to them. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
the most gems people give is just in these moments, in these pure
Oh yeah.
conversations.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if it's a favorite podcast, but just
Mhm.
taking time for yourself.
Yes.
Um,
Self-love is
yeah.
so important. Even sometimes, I know when the kids were younger, um, I didn't even realize I haven't looked at myself in the mirror. I remember one time we were and you know I'm into hair and all that stuff.
Right.
And I remember it hit me one morning, like I was just constantly running, getting the kids ready in the morning, taking my husband to work. And this particular morning, I'm getting all the kids ready. I'm driving, I'm taking him to work, and we pull up at his job. And I'm riding to the front, and he looked at me. And he was like, "You ain't riding to the front? Let me off right here." Not realizing how I looked. I never even looked at myself. I
Yeah.
never even looked at myself. When he got out the car and I actually looked in the mirror and looked at myself, girl, I bust out crying. My hair was not even done. Do you hear me? My hair wasn't even done. It was sticking up. I never even looked at myself. And that was like a little breaking point for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I'm not even like making sure that I look presentable when
Yeah.
I walk out the house. But like, yeah, he straight up was like, oh no, you ain't
Mm,
letting me
not
off.
me. It's like I'm good right here. I can walk the rest of the way. It's
I
fine.
was like, dang.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, you
it's
do.
important to
Hmm.
make sure and I think I've grown to the place where I understand um that village is so important in so
Yeah,
many different areas.
yeah.
I have a group of women who are CEOs as well, and they are moms and they
Mm-hmm.
have full-time jobs, some of them as well. And we were on a weight loss journey from the top of the year, and
Mm-hmm.
for most of us we averaged losing between 10 and 15 pounds, and
Right.
everybody's like feeling good about themselves, they
Hey.
were slimming, and it's like, and I was looking at pictures from the pandemic like, nobody
Mhm.
told me this
Yes.
was happening. Like, why did
Yes.
nobody say like your cheeks are rising up
Uh-huh.
and we can't, like, you so chubby in the face, but it's
Mhm.
good to have that group where it's like, hey, even if
Mhm.
I didn't do well eating today, hey, I didn't do well, but I'm gonna get
Accountability
back
group.
on. Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
that is so important, and
I
having
love
those
that.
other women who rally around you and say like, all right, let's do this
Mhm.
together. I'm
Yeah.
finding that doing things in a group setting
Mhm.
helps to keep you motivated, helps to keep you accountable, helps to keep you on point with what you say you are trying to do. So if you struggle in your self-care, find a
Mhm.
group. If you
Yes.
feel like it's not something you can do on your own, even if you do feel like you can do it on your own,
Mhm.
find a few friends, a few other
Mhm.
boss moms,
Right.
just get with them and, share your goals. Don't be afraid. That's another thing.
Mhm.
Speak out for where you want to go, what you want to get to, and allow them to come alongside you, and it'll be a great time. And you'll find that you are hitting your goals, because I want to go back to the group and say,
Yeah, like I ain't
"Yep,
losing that this week. It becomes like a competitive thing. Not that you're
yes,
being competitive towards like
no,
your
we are
partner.
very competitive.
Oh, yeah.
We are
Well,
very
not in a negative way. You know
no,
what I'm saying?
not in
And
a
you
negative.
become competitive. So you like, oh no, I'm gonna win this.
Yep,
I'm gonna lose the most weight. And then before you know it, like you said, it's like, oh, we look good.
yeah,
Oh, okay. You start looking at them before and after pictures.
mm-hmm,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's important to have a balanced life, and as
yes,
you stated, just making sure the date nights, that was one of the things that had got lost in our marriage at one point when
mm-hmm,
the kids were younger, because we were just focusing, on the kids, and it kind of like said, it was almost like, who are you? Who are
mm-hmm,
you? Like we became mom and dad, but then it wasn't Ramika and Brian.
yeah,
It was just mom and dad and the kids, and it got lost. And then once I expressed how I felt, because sometimes men they don't
yeah,
know. You
they
think
don't.
they know, and you think they supposed to just be like, just know off the bat. And he had a we had a talk, and he just was like, you gotta tell me, like you
Yeah,
gotta let me know, like if you're feeling this way, you gotta know. And my thing was like, how you don't know, like, right?
and again, those are
Like,
the tools that are not given to us. We watch strong women. We watch
mm-hmm.
our mothers and grandmothers just do. You just
Right.
do and do and go and do and do until you break down. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
No, share your load. If you have a
Yes.
spouse, you have a husband, you have a significant other,
Mm-hmm.
share your load. Speak
Yeah.
up about
Yeah.
what you need. Speak up
Right.
about where you are. Speak up about how you're feeling. And that
Yes.
opens the door for it to be a vice versa thing. And then your
Yeah.
spouse will feel comfortable coming to share with you what their
Yes.
needs are and being
Yeah.
open. And once you get to the place where you can have those open conversations, the weight is
And
lifted.
list it off
It's like,
like
I
we
can
could
just
have
tell you.
been did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you well, I know for me you worry about like hurting the other person's feelings if you
Yeah.
spoke how you felt or
Yeah.
whatever. And like you said, it's like once you start doing that, it's like everything becomes a little bit easier because now
Yeah.
you know exactly where that person is coming from.
Absolutely.
And then just as you grow and you get older, I've been with my husband since I was 19 years old. Okay, we're in our 40s now. We're not the same people that
No.
we were when we were 19 and 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you constantly have to relearn that
Yeah.
person over and over again because we're both elevating. So
Yeah.
we
And
got to
evolving.
make
Hmm.
sure that we're grown, even though we're growing in our own separate ways, that we still can meet
Growing
each
together.
other.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, I love
That
marriage
it
and it's
takes
work.
work.
It's work.
It takes work because it's so easy to
Hmm.
grow in your own right. It's so
Yeah.
easy to just say, these are all the things that I want to do, and you just
Hmm.
start going after them. But the challenge really is growing alongside another person and
Yes.
enjoying it, because
Yeah.
that's the other piece. So we're not here to just be here just to say we're here. We want
Right.
to enjoy this. We want to
Yeah.
look back and tell our grandkids and great grandkids,
Right.
like,
We had fun.
we had
You
fun.
know. Yeah.
And
It wasn't easy, but
50 years, 60
uh-huh.
years, 70 years later, this is still
Yeah.
my honey. This is still my
Yes.
sweetie. We
Yes.
still enjoy each other. Like, that's the
Hmm.
growth story that, we want to have. But like you said, it does constantly evolving. So it does, is necessary to have those questions. I mean, those conversations is
Right.
necessary to talk about the growth and how you're feeling and who I was. We too, I was 17 and
Hmm.
my husband was 19 or 20 when we met.
Okay.
So, coming out of high school, he's now been with me
Hmm.
longer
Right.
than,
Then we've been. I
right.
know.
We're like
Yeah.
past half. Like, you've
Right.
known me all
Right.
of my adult life. Everything
Right.
that I am as an adult, as a woman, you've
Right.
experienced that in the same thing, with him. So, it's beautiful, but you definitely have to be geared up for the work.
Oh yeah. And then when the kids come in, that just those like and there's different stages to that, you
Yes.
know. Now my kids were little and they were stair steps, but now they're stair steps in their teens and preteens. So
Yes.
now you have they have their own identity.
Yes.
They're very vocal.
Hmm.
They know how to play on the parents. So now
Which we
you
do
got
with them, because we
yeah.
taught our children to be vocal. And I tell my mom all the time,
We
like,
do that too. When they
one
was younger, my
lesson.
mom used to be like, talk to them like they little adults. Yeah.
Yeah. And now they're very clear on, this is how
Awesome.
I feel.
Yes.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
This is what I understand. And
Uh-huh.
can you provide clarity? Because I don't understand why you're doing what you're doing or why you're saying what you're
Yeah.
saying. And for
Sometimes you gotta
us,
come out of mommy mode and be like, oh, that they got a
because we
point.
couldn't do that, I can't say, well, can you explain that? No,
Like,
no,
no,
we
I
can't
said what I
tell them.
said, and
I
that's
said what
it.
I said.
Uh-huh.
So we've given them the tools, and
Yeah. And
sometimes
it
it doesn't feel good, but
and
other
doesn't
times
it?
I'm very glad that they have it, because that is the way
Mhm.
you navigate the world. You have to speak up.
Yes, you do. And
You have to.
yeah, they use it on us a lot.
A lot.
So sometimes we gotta like link up like, oh no, we team mom and dad and
Right.
you know.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, balance is so important, and family life is is awesome if
Yes.
you're with the right person, like you said.
Absolutely.
I love that you're dedicating helping families in a unique perspective. Like you explained, you're not a financial advisor; you're a financial planning coach, and
Yeah.
sometimes you need that push. You know,
Yeah.
we need coaches in all aspects of our lives,
Absolutely.
and finances is very important because that is the number one. thing that causes
Divorce.
divorces. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It
So
does.
yeah, I love that. I just wanted to speak a little bit on you as a mother of an autistic child.
Hmm.
Um, how do you, well, how do you encourage or give advice to our listeners, and how you deal with that with your other children in school, outside, ignorance of adults, and
Hmm.
just trying to deal with that in your daily, life.
Yeah. So, my youngest son, who is now 8, he
Hmm.
was diagnosed at 3,
Okay.
as being on the spectrum.
Hmm.
Um, Around his diagnosis, he had some issues cognitively as well as socially.
Okay.
Um, but we come from a very large family. I am one of
Hmm.
5 in terms of
Yeah.
siblings, and he is one of 22 in terms of grandchildren and great
Grandkids. Yeah.
grandchildren. So it is a tribe over here,
Yes.
which I can say again, village is very necessary. So
Hmm.
socially, he was able to get a lot of strength just
Good.
being one in such a large number,
Nice.
and not having a choice but to share and participate because
Hmm.
there's so many of them. And with
Yeah.
there being so many, they make sure you are going to share.
Oh
Nobody
yeah.
gets to have anything to
Right.
themselves.
And we ain't babying nobody.
No, you have to be ready for
Open
war.
up. Yeah.
When it comes to being around, you got to be ready. You got to be
Yeah.
ready to
Yeah.
participate, and you have to
Yeah.
be ready to, defend, not in an aggressive way, but you got
I
to be
know.
ready because
No, I get
they're
it.
gonna make
Yeah.
you listen. You sharing
Look,
that toy,
your family will teach you how to deal with the world, depending on
absolutely.
what you have. Because
Yes,
I mean, it gives you tough skin. So when you get
yes,
out in the world, you be like, "Oh, that ain't nothing. I
yeah.
done dealt with."
I ain't worried about that. I did this with my brothers, with my cousins, everybody. So,
Right. Right.
but yeah, he was diagnosed at 3. His language was not where it needed to be at that time, and so that's what made me say I am a social worker. I've been a social worker for the past 15 years. So, as my full time job, that is what I do. So, seeing children have various things going on, I'm used to it. I'm in the field. I've
Funny
seen
how
it.
God prepare you.
He does. And I
Mm.
can't, that's a whole nother conversation.
Right?
Preparation of things that God does. It's like, why am I doing this at this time? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Lord, I didn't know 10 years ago this thing was going
Just
to
to
lead me,
prepare me for
prepare
this.
me
Wow.
for it. And so navigating systems in terms of getting
Mhm.
him evaluated, that
Mhm.
social worker piece was so instrumental because I was able to get his evaluation done within a 3-month time span. Most people wait a year and a half to get an evaluation done. But because I knew how to navigate systems, it was like,
Mhm.
okay, if something's wrong, it's go time. So I
Yeah.
automatically went into, go mode. Where can I go? Who can get it done? How
Mhm.
fast can they get it done? How can we
Mhm.
follow up? And
Mhm.
along the journey, so many of the people were like, how did you get this done so fast? Well, first,
Mhm.
get to know God. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And secondly, being able to having the knowledge of those systems.
Oh,
Um,
God knew that you were definitely the perfect mother for him, because I mean,
yeah,
it it takes a special person.
it
It
does.
it really does. And I just love how he prepared you for something that you didn't even know that was
It's
coming.
coming.
And
Yeah,
just me knowing the personality that you have in the family that you come from, you was gonna be on it, you know,
yeah,
by any means necessary.
yeah.
Okay, this is what we have to do. We have to do this, but we ain't gonna be all like this, but we
Right.
gonna make sure, we get you where you need to be. And
Yeah.
oh, I love that.
And it's
Now,
funny because everybody around was like, it's nothing wrong. Just give him
hmm
some time. And I'm like, no. So when you say, it's going to be like this, I'm like, nope, I know. I see this. I
hmm
understand. I'm
hmm
not sad. I
hmm
am solution focused in this moment.
yes,
I am like,
yes,
let's get it done, get what he needs, and let's get it going. And then, my husband was like, this has never happened before because he's our
hmm
third.
hmm
I don't know what's going on. So
hmm
even being there to support him, like, hey, I know you don't have the knowledge in this area that I have. I know you don't have the understanding. So I need to be here to support you through this. We need to pray through this, get an understanding. But this is not, I'm not big on where did it come from? How did it get here? I'm big on what do we need to do for him to have the best quality of life. And that's where we are. And it went from him having limited speech to he is as sarcastic as everybody else who lives in this house.
Look,
And I'm
and I
like,
and I know your brothers, so I already know.
I'm like,
I can
okay.
imagine.
So he is definitely thriving, navigating that. And once I made it to a point where I could share with other moms, that is what
Mhm,
I did. If
mhm,
anybody said, "Hey, I need to get an evaluation," oh, this is where you can go. This is how you can get it done. And if the outcome is that, like,
mhm,
just pray through it, work through it. Like, God will help you. He'll give you strength to be able to navigate, and then
mhm,
you too will get to a point where you can, start to empower other moms and talk to
mhm.
them. So I am big on sharing my journeys. If
I'm
I've
so
been through
glad.
something,
So
let me
glad.
tell you all about it, because
Yeah,
something in my journey can help you in
yeah,
yours, and then
yeah.
you can help somebody else. So closed mouths don't get anything. So
Yep.
I stay vocal, because that's how you get where you need to be.
Mhm. I love that. From the outside looking in, you would never know. I know it's different types of autism.
Yeah.
Um, could you just elaborate a little
Yeah,
bit
so you
on?
have on the spectrum, there's things that affect children cognitively in terms of their learning abilities, and then there are things that affect them socially. So you have some children who are nonverbal.
Yeah.
They may not speak, but they have communication tools for them to be able to use. My son started off with a book with pictures to be able to point out different things that he wanted that he couldn't express.
Mhm,
But yeah, it kind of sways from the cognitive aspect and then
mhm.
into the social aspect. So you may see some children on the spectrum, they don't want anybody to touch their things.
Yeah.
And we did go through that for a little minute. And every now and
Mhm,
then again, he'll be like, "That's mine.
mhm,
Put it down.
mhm,
That's not
mhm,
yours."
mhm.
But then we talk about sharing. You have to be able
Nice.
to share. I'm here to support you through the sharing. Oh, give this person, a minute or two to be able to touch it. And then there are those things that's like, you're
No.
just not gonna play with this. Like, that's mine, specifically
Yeah.
to me. And we do allow him to do that. And then, educating my family.
Mhm.
That was the thing. Here are some things to expect, some things to look
Okay.
out for. Diets can be very
Mm,
sensitive. So he has a
yeah.
very sensitive diet. Um, so I feed him what he likes. If
Yeah.
this is what he eats and this is what he likes, then that is what I give him. And then when we go to different restaurants and stuff like that, trying to encourage him to try new
New things.
foods. Um,
Mhm.
he has grown. Outback is one of our favorite restaurants. He has
Nice.
grown
Well,
to
good
love it.
choice. Good choice.
Yeah, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have a choice because we're there often. So he has
Okay.
grown to, eat different things from there just to try them out. But the biggest thing is just advocating for me for his quality of life. I want you to
Mhm.
have the best of the
Best.
best. I want you to get every resource that you qualify for, that you need to have, and I want you to thrive. I think when I came into it, I was thinking with a limited mindset that,
Mhm.
he may be with me forever, and that may be the case.
Mhm.
But some of my friends have challenged me to say maybe he won't. He may
Mhm.
live a life and have his own family and his own children. Now, his wife, she gonna have to come live with us because he
Or
got
she gotta
children.
be like you. Or she gotta be
And she
like you.
still gotta be a neighbor. So I told my husband, like, we're gonna need probably like a
Oh, y'all need a
six, seven
compound. Like
bedroom.
you
We're
family
gonna need a
here.
house. Yeah. I mean, I would love for everybody to stay
Mhm.
close because I feel
Yeah,
like that's how great of a mother I am.
I
But
feel the same
for
way.
my older two, you may
Mhm.
want to move away. But for him, that's my
Mhm.
baby.
I
He
hear
got
you.
he got to stay close. He has to be on the premises, on the estate. So I got to
Yes,
get to that point where his family can be living with us. I can keep my eye out. Now
I
watch.
hear you. Shoot, my kids ain't autistic, and I feel the I feel that way. If
Yeah.
I could keep them with me forever, even if they have like their own families, if they could
Yep.
just be close by. But I do instill that in them now that family is important, and
Absolutely.
that we support everything that we do, down
Mhm.
to the little things like if they have a show or if they have a game or basketball. Oh, we all going.
Yes.
Oh, it's not no, I don't feel like it. I'm staying at home.
Mhm.
No, we all
Everybody.
going. We
Yeah.
support each other in everything that they do, even if you don't feel like going. You're going,
Yeah.
and I'm instilling that now because when they get older, I want them to do the same thing, and I want to
And
be
my
close.
mom did that with us.
Hmm.
She did that with us on a immediate family level as well as extended.
Yes.
And there's nothing that we really don't miss anything.
Hmm.
And with each other, it's funny because somebody was just joking with me like, y'all are always at something, and I'm like, with 20 plus grandkids
I
at
was just
different,
getting ready to say, this is your year celebration. It seemed like it's
but it's
like
all the time. It's
it's
every
really
time,
it's
all
well,
year
is this
long.
your milestone year or something? Because it's like you guys are
So
like,
we've
oh
hit milestone for pastoral anniversaries. We've
yeah,
hit milestone birthdays. My oldest
birthdays, right?
nephew is 35, and my
Wow,
youngest niece is 1.5.
wow,
So eighth
nice.
grade graduations,
Yes.
college graduations, high school
Oh
proms,
my God, yes,
and
I'm loving it
because
though. I was
everybody's
just
like
saying,
stair steps every year,
let me tell
somebody
you,
at a milestone.
I'm so I know people are so sick of me saying this, but started in 2021, I literally will be celebrating a graduation every
Every year.
year for the
Mhm,
next 7 years, seven set, probably 10 years.
mhm.
I'll be celebrating a graduation every year.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. But
Get prepared. Get your finances
that's
in
what I
order
say. This is
because
perfect.
it's expensive.
This
Like,
is perfect. And
yeah,
when you raise your kids a certain way, they don't want no less. So it's just like
no,
you can't even cut corners because they expecting the best of everything because
yeah.
that's just how you raise them. So I am so proud of you, Dana, and
Thank
your
you so
family.
much.
I love them. I love y'all. I don't see y'all as much, but my family, the Martins and the Browns, we consider you guys
Yes,
family. So I love each and every
yes.
one of you.
Your grandmom. That's my girl. I love her,
I know everybody says that.
girl.
That's my grandma. No, that's my grandma.
Yeah, that's
Mom
my girl.
died. Yep, yep. But I don't mind sharing because it's people in the Browns family has touched me in so many ways growing up, and even now, just
Yeah,
encouraging me. Now they'll send me messages of encouragement. So
yeah.
I just love that I had that foundation of family through church,
Yes,
um, and I miss that. I really do. I feel like that's missing in some churches these days.
yeah. A lot of places. A
Yeah.
lot of places. But I think it's on us. Sometimes I look and I'm like, girl, you are part of the adults for real now. Because it's like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not ready for that responsibility. But it's like, no, it's on us to carry those things
Keep
that
it
were given
going.
to us.
You are so right.
Yeah,
And I feel like I'm the one that got to be the one that carry it. Because when you're like the oldest or the
yeah,
one that's more stable or more organized or that
hmm,
person that just like take charge, you feel like you're the one
that
that
has to
has
do it.
to keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could be challenging, but you are definitely right. I just thank you for sharing valuable insight,
Oh, you're
your
welcome.
experience with us today. I am definitely want to contact you and send people your way because I love this idea, not idea, but I mean this niche. I'll call it a niche that is needed as a financial coach and specifically focusing on families because
Yeah,
I believe that we're going to need that now
yeah,
and in the future because it's only going to get
absolutely.
worse. It's
That's
only
it.
going to get worse. And we're in a time where the economy, where it's history, where things are changing and this is new. Everything is new for us.
Yes.
It's not the same as when our parents was growing up or their
Yeah.
parents and parents was growing up. So this is definitely needed. I just want to make sure that our listeners check out Dana's Financial Coaching Services. Her Instagram page is your fave underscore financial coach on Instagram. She also have a website. I think I have it going across the
Yeah.
screen, but I'll put the details in the detail area. Her website. Contact her for her services. Financial
Even if
empowerment.
you just want to have a conversation, I'd also offer consultations. So
Okay.
some people are just like, I don't know if I need your service, and I don't always know if a person would be a good fit. So I
Okay.
do offer complimentary consultations
Nice.
where we can just talk about what are your goals and does it make sense for you to even work with me, and if
Yeah.
it doesn't, then where is the place that it would best make sense, and how can I help you get there. My overall goal is to be a resource to people. I know that I have a wealth of knowledge in various areas, and I'm always looking to connect people where they should be.
Nice. So financial empowerment starts with taking the first step.
Yes, it
And the
does.
first step, I want you to contact Dana. Because I believe that she will be a great coach, because just knowing her and her personality, um, the passion, I know that she will be a good fit. So if you're interested, please contact her. We're coming to the end of our show, which was a great show.
Yeah, thanks for
I
having
try not
me.
to put a time limit on the show. I just try to let it, go naturally. Have
Yeah,
that mommy's tea time, that real conversation that you would have just sitting in your living room
yeah.
with your friends. So I just want to leave you guys, listeners, with the affirmation for the week. Is I am capable of achieving financial stability and prosperity for my family. So just meditate and pray on that affirmation for the week. Um, in conclusion, our interview, Dana, our favorite financial coach, well, she's my favorite financial coach now because I'm about to get some tips from her, who is making a difference in lives and family. Join us next time. Next week, every Mondays at 9 a.m. With Let's Talk Motivation with Mommy's Tea Time. Until then, stay motivated. Take charge of your financial journey. Bye.